Welcome back to Design 101. Today we're going to take a look at sizing your ship to its task. Most new players think that their ship should be an all-rounder and they put everything into their starter ship. But all-rounder ships come with many problems that are easily avoided by just building ships that are built for one purpose. Another thing that I want to address is the aspect of designing a mothership. Let's look at some examples of purpose-built ships and how you should size those ships. Let's start with shuttles. For everyone that doesn't know that, ships under 12k mass can rift without Xanthium. So obviously your shuttle should be under 12k. But here you can decide between two kinds of small rifter, the speedboat and the minimum. The speedboat is right at the edge of the 12k mass limit. Here you have to be fast while rifting because your timing has to be on point to not miss your shot. On the other hand is the minimum. This is the one I prefer because it's easy to build and cheap to get. When done right, you can build a complete ship in under 5 blocks. The only things you need are power cells, generator, rift generator, life support and one small hydrogen tank. This is how I done it. The next type of ship is the starter ship. A starter ship is the one that only uses T0 minerals. I would suggest a size of around 50 to 100k mass. The small engines that are available to you in T0 cannot handle more and your ship will be slow. In addition, I wouldn't suggest to add large cargo ports, because they, when filled up, will anchor you on the spot. Your engines just can't handle that weight on that low tier. After you have acquired T1 minerals, you're ready to build your first real miner. Miners work best in range from 150k to 400k mass. Everything above is either not user-friendly and gets pretty annoying to set up in automation. Keep in mind you have to change all the cartridges manually. Or they have just way too much cargo and when destroyed you will be pretty annoyed. Instead of adding massive cargo, rather build a cargo ship or use the vault. If you already made it to T3, check out my deep scan episode linked here. Speaking of T3, the sizing of strip miner can escalate pretty fast. Try to stay at the max of 1 million mass, cause with cargo you will be easily at 1.5 million mass. On my ship I use 2 large and 2 middle engines. This is enough to, let's say, move it around. But to get to T3 you need a gas miner. It is tempting to just add gas miners to your normal mining ship, but I would suggest to build a small dedicated gas miner. For example, I converted one of my starter ship to do this job. I would suggest a mass of up to 70k and around 7 to 10 gas miners on board. When you start to enter T2 and T3 systems, you should be ready to react to attacks. On PvP servers, pirates wait around every corner. But even while playing PvE, Skrill can be pretty annoying. The ship should not exceed 250k mass, cause this is the limit for private ship storages. Even if you plan to not use the private ship storages, you should keep it under 300k, cause everything above that will be pretty hard to maneuver. But don't worry, it's easy to contain everything a fighter needs in 300k. Just look around the workshop to get some inspiration. Now let's talk about some ships that you don't need, but that are nice to have. Starting with a manufacturing ship. This one can have a large array of refineries and assemblers. And if you want, even one drone. The role of the ship would be to stay cloaked in a system and refine the stuff that the miners collect. In addition to that, it could work as a cargo ship. The sizing should be in the middle of the miner and strip miner, so something around 700k should be enough. When adding 2 large engines, it shouldn't be hard to move around. Next up would be a drone carrier. Sure, you can add more than one drone to your miner, but the dedicated drone ship is for a fleet a nice way to work together. And you can add a cloak generator to your ship to be a little more protected against players and skrills. This ship should be around 300 and 500k mass. That should cover most of the ships you need. Now let's talk about one ship most of the players dream about. A mothership, to show the might of the fleet. It is completely possible to build a mothership. Mine sits at about 2.6 million mass. It took around 20 in-game hours to be at the point it is now, and there's still more work on my list. But I decided to build it on the EU PvP server to see how it looks and feels in-game. And well, here's how it went. So you can see 2.6 million is above the game to handle. This being said, I encourage the building of massive ships, to give your fleet something to do and after that to maintain. Those ships can look awesome, but don't plan on using them as functional ships. I hope I gave you some ideas on what to do next. If so, consider leaving a like and a sub. I'm Dev Raven, this was Design 101 and I will see you next time.